All right, today we are diving into one of the world's truly great epic poems, the Ramcharitmanas. And trust me, this is way more than just a story of adventure. It's a deep, profound look at duty, devotion, and that eternal struggle between good and evil.
And this quote, right at the beginning, it's everything. The epic tells us from the get-go that this story is boundless, that there are countless ways to understand it. It's not some dusty old book. It's a living, breathing narrative that's been told and retold for centuries. And every time, you find something new.
So you might be wondering, where did a story this huge even come from? Well, the Ramcharitmanas says it wasn't just written by some person. Nope, it's presented as a sacred truth, a divine story passed down through an incredible lineage.
And this lineage is key to its power. I mean, think about it. The story starts in the mind of the great god Shiva himself. He shares it with his wife Parvati. From there, it's passed down from one enlightened soul to another, including a sage in the form of a crow. Each one carefully preserved it. So this isn't just a tale, it's a piece of cosmic knowledge that's been protected for ages.
Okay, so at the center of all this is our hero, Rama. But here's the thing, he is so much more than a prince. The text makes it crystal clear. Rama is a divine being who has taken on human form. He's described as being beyond the illusion of our everyday world, a literal ocean of mercy, who's here on earth for one big reason, to restore righteousness.
And you know who sees his divinity most clearly? His own mother, Kausalya. I love this part. She looks at her son and sees this being of cosmic beauty and power. That description, dark as a cloud, that's a classic poetic way of hinting at his infinite, mysterious, and divine nature. It's just beautiful.
Now, every great story has that one moment, that big turning point. For Rama, it doesn't happen on some epic battlefield. It happens right inside his own palace, where everything is about to get turned upside down.
And what kicks it all off are some very human emotions: jealousy and ambition. A queen's maidservant basically poisons the mind of Queen Kaikeyi, convincing her that if Rama becomes king, her own son is going to get left out. This manipulation pushes Kaikeyi to cash in on an old promise the king made to her years ago.
And the two things she asks for are absolutely devastating. First, make my son, Bharata, the king instead of Rama. And second, banish Rama, the beloved hero of the kingdom, to the forest for 14 years. Can you imagine? It's a total gut punch to the king and the entire kingdom.
The king is just broken. He's trapped by his own word, by his honor, so he has to say yes. The text says he literally collapses in grief. This isn't just politics, it's a family tragedy of epic proportions. And Rama, being the embodiment of duty, accepts his fate without a single complaint. But Rama's exile is no peaceful walk in the woods. Oh no, it's out there in the wilderness that he's going to face the greatest challenge of his life. A loss so profound it will spark a desperate quest and a massive war.
So the main crisis kicks off with a classic bit of trickery. The story's villain, the demon king Ravana, wants Rama's wife, Sita, so he sends this enchanted golden deer to draw Rama and his brother away from their camp. The moment they're gone, Ravana swoops in, abducts Sita, and spirits her away to his kingdom of Lanka.
This quote just captures Rama's heartbreak perfectly. Here's this divine being, reduced to the deepest human grief, asking every bird and bee if they've seen his wife. And it's during this search that he meets a crucial ally, Sugriva, the exiled monkey king. See, Sugriva's story is tragic too. His own brother, Vali, stole his kingdom and his wife. So when Rama and Sugriva meet, they see their own pain reflected in each other. They make a pact right then and there. Rama will help Sugriva get his kingdom back, and Sugriva will use his entire army to find Sita. This alliance changes everything.
So, with his new allies, Rama finally discovers where Sita is being held. But getting her back means a full-scale invasion of Lanka. And that sets the stage for the story's climax, an epic war between the forces of good and evil.
Before the war really kicks off, Rama sends the incredible monkey god Hanuman as a messenger. And Hanuman's speech to Ravana is just legendary. It's pure psychological warfare. He's basically telling the demon king, hey, all that power you're so proud of, it's just a tiny fraction, an iota, of the power of the guy whose wife you just stole. You have no idea who you're messing with.
If you look at the two armies, you can see this isn't just a battle, it's a clash of worldviews. On one side, you've got Rama's army of monkeys and bears. They're fighting for Dharma, for righteousness, out of pure devotion.
On the other side, you have Ravana's army of demons, fighting for power, greed, and conquest, for Dharma. It's good versus evil, plain and simple.
Now, to even get to Lanka, they have to cross an entire ocean, and when the sea god refuses to help, Rama shows his true power. He prepares to fire a celestial arrow, and the text says the ocean literally starts to boil with fear. This moment isn't just about building a bridge, it's Rama asserting his divine authority over nature itself, forcing the sea to let his army pass.
So after a long, brutal war, Rama wins. Ravana is defeated, Sita is rescued. It should be a happy ending, right? Well, not so fast. The return home brings one final, heart-wrenching trial.
Yeah, victory doesn't bring instant peace. After everything she's been through, whispers start to spread through the army, questioning Sita's purity after being Ravana's captive. To put an end to the gossip and uphold the honor of his family, Sita has to undergo a terrible trial by fire.
And as she stands before the fire, Sita says this. It is such a powerful statement. She's not just talking about physical purity, she's talking about the total devotion of her heart, her mind, and her soul. She's calling on the fire itself to be her witness.
And then, a miracle. The fire god himself rises from the flames, holding an unharmed Sita. Her innocence is proven for all to see, in the most dramatic way possible. The ordeal is over, and now finally they can go home.
The epic ends with the start of what's called Ram Rajya, the rule of Rama. And this isn't just a change in leadership, it's the beginning of a legendary golden age. It's described as a time of perfect harmony, where there's no sorrow, no hatred, and righteousness rules everything. It is the ultimate triumph of Dharma.
But beyond this incredible story, the Ramcharitmanas is packed with deep philosophical ideas about reality and good and evil. And that really is why it's still so powerful today. One of its core teachings is that our world is a mix of good and evil. The Creator made both. Life is this constant dance between opposites. You can't have day without night or nectar without poison. So wisdom, the epic tells us, is about recognizing this and making a conscious choice to follow the good path.
And really, that's the big question the epic leaves us with. The story of Rama is like a roadmap for how to live a good life in a messy, complicated world. It asks us to look at our own lives and think, when we face our own challenges, our own battles, how do we choose to walk that path of righteousness?